The Last Hobbit. Just finished painting Pippin. So this is Merry. He's the last of our hobbits. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. My name is Warboss Tay. Thank you for being here. I am a YouTuber who does Warhammer miniatures content. Been streaming, or not streaming, but posting on YouTube since 2009. I've recently become a father, and my babies, my toddlers, are having a hard time sleeping. So if I hear them screaming at any time, I'm going to have to leave to go to the nursery and tend to them. But until such a time comes, I'm happy to finish painting up this set called the Brotherhood of the Nine for, it's meant to be for Warhammer 40k, I believe, like Imperial Agents Retinue, Inquisitorial Warband. If you enjoy what you're seeing, then I would appreciate a follow, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you really like it and you want to support me, then you can send me a super chat or a super thanks. And if you really want to be a part of my community, you can join me on Discord. You could also become a channel member. I've got a goal of hitting 20 channel members, and we're already at 18 out of 20. So we're trying to get those last two so I can hit my first milestone. And if you become a channel member, you'll not only gain access to all of my digital downloads, project planners, calendars, and recipe cards, but I'm also going to be painting up Bretonnian knights to represent my channel members. So you'll get to choose a couple of colors and see your knight get painted up and put into like a montage video in all of my long form videos. All right, so I hope that entices you to join, become a channel member and a bigger supporter of my channel. Here you can see my Gandalf, or my Albus Grey, Inquisitor Albus Grey. I've got my 4 of my 5 halfling sharpshooters. They're really just hobbits. I've got Bilbo, Frodo, Samwise, Pippin, and here is Merry. And I tried to be as authentic to their movie costumes as possible. It's funny, like there are all of these publicity photos of them in their costumes, like test shots for camera. So you could see them standing in the T pose with their arms out. It's just hilarious. And that's almost like in my mind, it's like how Games Workshop does their 360 view for their miniatures. It allows you to see all the cracks and crevices and what colors they are, because on film, sometimes a lot of the colors get washed out or they look different under different lights. So I did my research, folks. I went out and I got all of the correct colors for everything. So Merry here has like a yellow vest and brown trousers and a greenish, like a greenish jacket. And so there he is. He's got like a dirty blonde hair, so I'll be working on getting that hair a little bit more in line with what I want it to be. Valerio, hello, Hobbit with a gun, that's right. You can choose when you get these and you're building them up, you can either choose to have them with these like Baroque looking medieval long rifles, or you could have them with a science fiction-y like Warhammer 40k like anti-material rifle. It just depends on what you want. So for this one, I actually lost or I didn't lose, but it didn't come with an arm with this, with the bespoke gun here. I wanted all of them to have the same looking rifle, but my one miniature didn't have that arm, or maybe I lost it. I don't know. But I decided to just give one guy the fancy sci-fi gun. Everybody else would have these fantasy looking rifles. Just a little wash of known oil to pick out shadows. And then we'll get to painting some highlights. And then it'll be another member of the Brotherhood all painted up. Just do some basing work. Hey, 69. Oh, how you doing? I am excited. I am pumped. I am ready to go. After this, we're going to be painting up Strider, because in the movies, after Gandalf has his adventures with Bilbo, after he teams up with Frodo, Sam tags along, Merry and Pippin join up for the ride. Then they go to Bree, where they meet up with Strider, who is actually Aragorn's son of Arathorn. If you want to check out this set for yourself, then I've got a link in the description. Check it out. And I think they still have their autumn sale going on. Oh, I just noticed this. He's got a robot arm. Aragorn lost his left arm, and he's replaced it with a robot arm. That's pretty awesome. And then at the Council of Elrond, he'll be joined by Legolas, Gimli, and Boromir. They've all got different names according to the RTLW website, but I'm very more used to calling them by what I think they are according to the movies. All right. Chair is a little squeaky tonight. Like, I know I had an extra piece of pie after dinner, but holy cow. The brushes I'm using are also linked in the description. They're from a set of artisan brushes sold by Golden Maple, who make paintbrushes, very high quality paintbrushes, and I'm very happy with the quality of these brushes. All right, I'm going to show you, I think, you know what, maybe I got to let the washes dry a little bit more. I was going to go and do the eyeballs, but maybe I got to wait a little bit more. I want the black paint to start bleeding into the rest of his face. So we will let him hang out for a little bit. All right, and last night I made the announcement, put all my hobbits together with Gandalf. I made the announcement that I would be painting up some Bretonnian knights. So tonight I thought I would build them up. And the way I'm going to be doing it is I'll be, if you're a channel member, then you can choose what color your Bretonnian knight will be. What two colors, rather, because each Bretonnian knight has two colors. And then I will also be adding on details and different bits of like decoration to your miniatures the longer you are a channel member. So I didn't realize this, but you can track channel members like by years, because most of the time I see channel members in the analytics, it says, oh, they've been a member for a month or 2 months or 3 months, but apparently you can go all the way up to like 8 years or some crazy amount. So it'll be great if I can still be making content that far down the line and have a channel membership. That means I could be painting like hundreds of Bretonnian knights, all with different colors. That'd be pretty fun. Why not? I'll just build out like an entire army of Bretonnian knights. All right, how many of these do I have? 5, 10, 11, 12. I gotta get more knights. All right, so let's look at assembling them. I've got my instructions right here. Horsey body to horsey body, horsey head, legs, torso, arm with shield, arm with lance, and what is this piece over here? And then helmet, or head rather. Okay, very cool. I think that the decision by Games Workshop to do red and black as the color scheme for the Bretonians was a very smart decision. Red and black is an easy color scheme to paint. So good for them. I'm going to be using Tester's non-toxic liquid cement for plastic models to build these guys up. It's nice that they come on like a single frame, so if you're trying to put the horses together, at least you know which side goes with which. All right, who's ready for a little plastic miniature assembly ASMR? We'll do maybe 1 or 2 of these nights and then get back to finishing our Hobbit. This really takes me back. Playing Old World makes you feel like a kid again, because these are all models that many of us had when we were kids. Yo, maybe I should put the horsey together first. Is that how it's gonna work? I forget. I've built so many horses in my time as a hobbyist. Maybe I gotta put the horsey together. And then put the head on. Okay, this probably makes more sense because then you can line the collar with a little bit more glue. Blue Cloud, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the party. I saw you were gonna treat yourself to some hobbitses for Christmas. Was it, maybe it was Empire horses that didn't have a tail. This is all right, this is not too bad. Very simple build, 2 halves of a horse body put together, and then the head. All right, glad to have you here, buddy. I think these horses, after, I still have nightmares. I think I'm still traumatized from building the Cities of Sigmar horses. Gadzooks. That's another thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring back saying Gadzooks. What an ordeal. Even the Bretonian, what is it? The standard bearer on Pegasus. What an unnecessarily complicated build that is. Let's see if this goes any faster. So there are 12 Knights of the Realm. I think I've got in some bins some other boxes of Knights, which is good because I need to have at least 18 18 nights built up and primed, and some are going to be getting some paint jobs because that's how many channel members I have now. I got 18 channel members, which is fantastic. So if you show up, if you're a channel member, then please let me know what colors you would like your knight to be painted with. I bought this felt pad from Hobby Lobby for 99 cents. It's just a felt sheet. Looks pretty good on camera. I can zoom in and get rid of the extra parts up there. And as my wife, my lady boss says, it makes my videos not look like I'm a serial killer in the basement or in my garage. It actually looks like a semi-professional setup, which I am just a single YouTuber, small YouTuber, trying to make a living, trying to make it here in the jungles of YouTube. So again, thank you for being here, for supporting my channel, supporting my work. Like I said, I've got a bunch of Warhammer videos and content I've been producing since 2009. And I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Oh, that glue is still ready? Okay. Woo! Sorry about that, guys. Guys and gals. On the corner. So, my plan was to at least show you the beginning part of this project where I'm going to be building up some Bretonian knights to represent my channel members. And it's a fun little extra project that is also going to get me some practice painting of like a variety of different color schemes for my own Bretonians, which I'm going to be painting up and selling on eBay. It's a joy to go back to the Bretonians because they were one of the first armies that attracted me to the whole like Warhammer fantasy. It's the knights on horseback, brightly colored pennants flying in the air, chivalry, bravery, courage, all that kind of stuff. So being able to revisit it now that I've done so much painting in the grimdark side of the hobby is a lot of fun. I'm using this Tester's non-toxic glue, which is a great product to have if you live with anyone, you share your living space or your hobby space. I highly recommend getting a bottle. Because I used to work with some very foul-smelling, odorific, toxic things, and this glue is much better. So we're at 25 minutes into the stream now. I think in a little bit the washes on my Meriadoc Brandy Buck will be dried enough so that I can finish off with some eyeballs, give them some eyes, and then do the scenic base work. And I thought I might have enough time to do some other little bits that might be fun to watch on stream, but I might have to skedaddle off into the sunset in a little bit. We'll get these horses built up though, that's for sure. Hello, Rowan. I remember I got this Artel kit, the Brotherhood of the Nine. I got it at a time when I was just looking for more rewarding, fun things to paint up, and it's been a blast. It's reminded me a lot of when I bought that Dreadfleet set that Games Workshop sold a couple years back. And it's like every ship in that box required a different kind of approach to painting. There were some of those ships that, like the Skaven one that was made out of like a dead, rotting deep sea fish carcass. And then there was like the Chaos Dwarf one that looked like a kraken, mechanical kraken. Then you had the clean, bright high elf one, the Arabian one, the Tomb King one, and of course the classic Empire ship. That was such a fun kit to paint because the scale was so small and each ship required a different discipline. Some with like the harder surfaces, like the Tomb King's one was made with a bunch of wood and stone and just required different techniques to make them look good. And then you had to paint all of the scenery pieces. Where is this? Okay. That was just such a fun kit. If you guys can get a hold of the Dreadfleet box for a discounted price, something that you don't have to pay the full, I don't remember, it was like $200 or $300 when it first came out, I would suggest getting it. Pick it up and paint some tiny ships. I think it'll be really fun. You'll have a blast, just like I did. I don't know if you guys have built the Cities of Sigmar horses. That cavalry, the Chevalier in that army box, it almost put me off from miniatures completely for a while because it was such a tedious ordeal to do the reins and like every single bit of the horses was just so monotonous and tedious. And it was a shame too because I really liked the Cities of Sigmar when it first came out. We didn't have anything except all of our old Empire miniatures that we had to take from square bases and put on round bases. So the Cities of Sigmar army set had so much hype behind it, powering it when it first was announced. Everybody wanted to see what the new like fantasy humans race was, since they were trying to steer away from all of the old Empire range. And the cavalry was just so tedious to put together. Then when you go from that to this, horses are two halves and then heads on the top. It's like so simple. And as a hobbyist who has increasingly less and less time to devote to my hobby, the less amount of time I'm required to invest from getting something on sprues to tabletop ready, the better it is. Oop. So I mentioned earlier I have an eBay store, Warboss Tay, and I sell all of my painted miniatures there. I'm trying to make a go of this whole YouTube thing, and I'm supplementing my income by selling my painted miniatures on eBay. So if you're interested in seeing what I have on sale, I have a number of different units up on sale right now, mostly for the Horus Heresy, a lot of Forge World resin, and they're at a really super price. I've discounted some great kits that I went and painted, like the Emperor's Children Cacophony. I've got some Space Wolves, the Space Wolf Relic Contemptor Dreadnought, just a bunch of stuff. I've got about 20 lots listed right now, so check it out and get it at a good price before it's gone. And again, you can find it by just going on eBay and looking up my channel name, Warboss Tay. I'm also a commission painter, believe it or not. So if you have any interest in commissioning me to paint for you, then please reach out to me on email or however, Discord, whatever. Warboss Tay Studios, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you enjoy my style of painting, we can definitely get something painted for you. Oops. I think it's because I don't have all the glue right there. Just a reminder, if you guys are interested in picking up a set of Brotherhood of the Nine, which is this Lord of the Rings inspired Warhammer 40k Inquisitorial Warband, then the link is in the description to this live stream. And it's an Artel miniature or set of miniatures. So it's like this really fine boutique resin. You can kind of tell the quality of the resin in my unprimed miniatures here. It's almost like plastic. It's a much better quality resin than what I see on a lot of the Etsy 3D recasters. Like, it allows some really fine detail and extra like things to look at, like all of the like wrinkles in the pants. I just realized Strider's sword, I think that's like flash. What am I doing? How did I miss that? Boop. There, now we can see. Much nicer. So yeah, check it out. And I think Artel still has its autumn sale going on. You can get up to 15% off the entire store. And there's just so much great stuff on their website. I actually have the Lady Malice or Lady Ivrain alternative model, like a proxy. And it just looks so great. They're doing a lot of really amazing things with their Drukari line. Or I think they're called like the Voidborn Elves. But they're pretty obviously Dark Eldar Drukari. All right, a couple more horsies, 2 more horsies, and then we're done. We're on to our last horsey. Then we'll finish up some finishing touches on our Merry, our Hobbit, and then we'll be finished. I'm seeing a ton of like mold lines and extra little bits I'm gonna have to clean up, but I just want this live stream to be as productive as possible. So that was pretty good, building up all those horsies. "12 Knights of the Realm horses." Here they are. All 12 horses built up and ready for their riders. I'm super happy with how fast those came together. Okay, gonna let those dry for now, and then we'll focus our attention to our Brotherhood of the Nine, aka our Fellowship of the Ring. Already we've got Inquisitor Albus Grey here. One more look around him. Festooned with all of these purity seals. I love how the purity seal on his hat just kind of hangs off the edge. It's such a cute, like really cute and cool little effect that you don't see much. Then the first one he met was Bilbo here, his high-powered 50 caliber rifle. Then nephew Frodo. Hello. Then his faithful gardener, Samwise. Potatoes. And then his 2, are they his cousins, I think? Pip and Merry. So this is the last one. little extra last final details to finish this one up, and then the hobbits or the halfling sharpshooters for the set will be all painted. And then I can move on to painting Aragorn, or as he's called in this kit, Strider. All right, let's see if we can get some eyeballs on Merry. So my trick for doing eyeballs is 2 horizontal slashes, having a painting handle is so helpful for this. Doesn't have to be an official handle. You could use a like an empty paint pot. You could use a piece of cork, like a cork handle. And now I'm going to take some Corax white. For the black, you don't have to use Abaddon black. You don't have to spend money on Abaddon black. I say it all the time. I got this for $3 at Walmart. It's a huge tube of black paint that is a perfectly acceptable substitute. I know some people out there are Games Workshop purists, like they only really want to work with Citadel paints and stuff, and like I get it. I was in that boat as well, but now I'm at the point in my life where if I can save money and no one's going to tell the difference, then I'm happy to use the cheaper alternative. Black is always going to be black. So you can't put this black on a wet palette next to some Abaddon black and tell me you know which is which, because there's no way to tell. Now, if it was a color like Sotek green or Emperor's Children pink or something very, very clearly Citadel quality, then that would be different. But black paint will always be black paint. So now what I'm going to do is try to do a diagonal slash in each eye as centered as possible. It's a little tricky. This is the only model holding his rifle in such a way where I can't really get the tip of my brush the way I want. Close enough. Yep, close enough. Oh boy, if that's not worth a channel subscription, then come on. That was pretty good. I still got it. All right, now it's inevitable that you're going to make a little bit of a mistake. Some of that black paint is going to bleed over into your cheek. So what I'm going to do now is just take my skin tone, which is Rakarth Flesh, and I'm going to lighten up his nose. Then I'm going to match the cheek color tone by pushing up the bottom of the eye paint. So I got a little bit of black paint I want to push up right here. Perfect. Look at that. That's terrific. Wow, that's really pretty good. Just don't look at him straight on. It's a little warped and funky, but depends on how you turn it, how you angle the miniature. That's really cool. All right, now we are done with this miniature. We've gotten to the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly do the basing, then we can wrap up this live stream. I'm going to be using Geek Gaming Fast Drying Basing Glue. It is my go-to product for basing all of my miniatures now. I do not feel like taking the time or buying like all these different products, different grades of basing grit and tufts of grass. Although I think I mentioned this before, I might go back to using tufts again just for some very specific effects. But like static grass and moss and all those other products that they try to sell you on, I just got this base ready Scenics from Geek Gaming and it's changed my life. Like, it makes basing my miniatures so easy. You just put down some white glue. It doesn't even need to be this special basing glue. I just like it because it spreads so well compared to Elmer's glue, which you have to mix in a separate container with some water just to get it to be workable. Hey, go for it. Welcome, buddy. All right, and then we're gonna just put it into the basing material. Tap it off, and you're done. There. Some of it was levitating. And we've got our Mary. So I'm gonna close this up. Thanks very much, Go For It. Let's take a look at where we are, where we've been, where we're going. This is my fellowship right now. You've got Albus Gray, Bilbo with a red coat, nephew Frodo with also, if you look at what Elijah Wood is wearing, it's an interesting color scheme. It's pretty similar to what Bilbo was wearing in the Hobbit prequels. Dark brown pants, whereas Bilbo has more of a Steel Legion drab colored pants, pale green vest. And then Samwise here had a more dusky tone. Hey, the one from the past. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you. He's got a little lambus leaf on his collar there. His pot for boiling potatoes. And then Merry and Pippin were the models that I painted today. I love how Pippin has this blue, beautiful blue coat. And Merry has this like mustard yellow vest. There they are. The hobbits are all painted up. So guys, the next step for me in this project of painting up the Brotherhood of the Nine is to paint up the protectors. Gimli, Boromir, and Legolas will have to wait until I get to them in the Council of Elrond. So they'll be hanging out on the side, and the next model I'm going to be painting for this project is going to be Aragorn. If you are interested in supporting my studio, you could always send me a super chat, or even better, join me as a channel member. We've got 18 channel members right now, going for 20, and that'll be our first milestone. I have to think of a reward for hitting 20. What could I do? Maybe a special unboxing or a tutorial or something. Also, if you'd like to support me by checking out some of my writing, my pen name is Eli Taft Jr. I write mostly flash fiction in science fiction and dark fantasy. And if you are a channel member, from now until the end of October, I will be posting all of my omnibuses for my series on the Discord. So you can have access to that. It's something like a $40 or $50 value, absolutely for free, if you price out all of the individual books in my omnibuses, in my series. So I hope that tempts you to join me as a channel member. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. So have a great night, and we will see you in the next video. Laters!